Welcome back, adventurers, to the Collectives channel. This is John from John's Dungeon Corner. Very, very, very cool, the name. And today we're going to talk about the 3 basic books for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. We have the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual. Of course, and the pretty dice, and the cool percentage dice, and all the cool accessories behind me. We'll talk about those at another time. I'll kind of throw them in from time to time. All right, so let's start with the Player's Handbook. This is probably the most important book for those of you who would be adventurers. It tells you everything you need to know, from being a halfling warrior all the way up to a tiefling sorcerer. And we want to kind of dive into that. So when we first open the book, there's a lot of wonderful art in it, which is, like I told you last time, it's one of my favorite things. Talks about how to create the character at the very beginning. It takes you step by step, how to choose a race, a class, how to put together your different ability scores and what that means, what the advancement for the characters are. Then we go through all the different races. We start with the dwarf and quickly we go through the elf. In fact, for those of you who know, there's Dritz Durden, our drow elf ranger, who's brought the drow to a good name and a good standing in the Forgotten Realms. We go through halflings, the humans, the dragonborn, gnomes, all the different races, the tiefling. Some of these races weren't available originally. Then we talk about the classes. We have the barbarian, the bard, the cleric, the druid, fighter, monk, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, warlock, and wizards. And there's a really neat table on page 45 that kind of gives you a quick overview. Kind of describes what a barbarian, what the different various classes are, what their hit dice are, which is what keeps you alive in the game, what their primary ability or abilities may be, their saving throw proficiencies, and their armor weapon proficiencies. So you gotta have a little idea of, hey, what am I getting myself into with this class? Then each class is broken down with all its special abilities, what bonuses you get, what kind of spells you may have, so on and so forth. So all the class features. The cleric is in here, the druid. I mean, it's just an amazing. I'm going to kind of go through it quickly because the artwork is, of course, like I said, is fantastic. Here we have I believe, a druid, a wood elf druid, and the various from one of the circles. So after that, we get into our equipment, because what adventurer is complete without his equipment? It's what makes you kind of. So we have all our equipment. We have our bows, our swords, lists of weapons, armors, so on and so forth, from backpack to candle to flint and torches, all the necessary essentials to go on an adventure. Then it goes into, what's that? Lances, yes. I'll have to tell you about Danny and his lance. His character's name is Ken, and he has a lance. And that's all I'm going to say. If you want to ask more, you got to ask Danny. All right. There's a story behind that, but I'm going to tell you. So then we have the backgrounds. These are really neat because it adds a little bit of flavor to your character. So you can be anything from an acolyte to a hermit to a soldier and a sailor, all the way to a street urchin. And it's really neat because it kind of gives you, not only does it give you flavor, but it also gives you some benefits, some skill proficiency, sometimes tool proficiency, some extra equipment that you can add to your character. And these can either be done randomly, or you can just go through and say, hey, that looks really neat. That's what I want to do. That's how I want to kind of role play my character. So you can kind of piece your character together that way. Then we go into, as I said, all the equipment. Trinkets are really a neat thing. And then in the back part, it talks about how to play the game. So what does initiative mean? How do we attack? What's my armor class mean? What is movement? And so on and so forth. The saving throws in the game. What are all those ability scores used for? Your skill proficiencies. So there's a lot of things that go into that part there. Melee attacks. Then we get into the spell book for those that cast spells, such as the druids, the paladins. Almost every class can cast magic. If not, you can multi-class into something that casts magic. And that's all covered in here also. But it gives you every spell. It puts in a nice little list for you at first level, all the way up through 9th level. And then in alphabetical order, you can always go and find out the spell. Hey, what does animal shape mean? Well, it's an 8th level transmutation. It tells you the casting time, how long it lasts, the range on it, and it describes it in detail what happens when you cast a spell. And that's in here for all the different spells. Like I said, from the druid to the cleric, from the sorcerer to the warlock. There's a favorite, Fireball. You said Fireball? No, Fireball. I meant Firebolt. You'll see that a lot. But this is a quick, like I said, a really quick something about the Player's Handbook. And there it is. In the back, it does talk to you. This is kind of really neat because Dungeons & Dragons is just done on one, what they call plane of existence. There's a lot of them. And it kind of goes into it, kind of give you a little quick synopsis of all the very outer planes. And here's a neat little diagram. I'll have to bring that up to the camera so you can see it. But there's a material plane where pretty much all the game is played. And then you got the Shadowfell and the Feywild, the ethereal plane, the 4 planes of earth, fire, air, water. Then you have elemental chaos where things kind of start getting a little crazy. Then you get into all those cool planes that you hear about, like Elysium and Hades, the Abyss. But anyway, it's always fun to, they say the more you knowledge is power. So be careful of what you really learn, because it could get haywire on you. And then in the back, here's something really neat. You have a character sheet that you can print. You can photocopy it. There's so many online, or you can come and get the character sheets right here. These are wonderful. I'm not going to open them, but they're essentially, if what you're looking at here, it gives you everything that you need for your character to play. It gives you a place where you can actually do a little drawing or put your symbol, your character drawing, keep track of your treasure, some background. And here's what the spell book looks like.
And John, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. That's what you're here for.
So it's probably worth letting them know at home as well that they don't necessarily need to have a player sheet or handbook. If they just kind of, look into the stuff, usually that's enough to get them started. They don't need to go in and be.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they don't need to be intimidated by the price of the books.
Nah,
or whatnot.
Like I said, once you buy this book, you pretty much got everything you need. You can have your character on a sheet of paper and just add note paper to it. I mean, we all started out. There weren't character sheets and all these fancy schmancy things when Dungeons and Dragons came about, and you don't even need character sheets. Some people just play the game.
And as you can see, we have store copies of the books.
Yes, the collective does provide you store copies that you can borrow and use, and we use them on Wednesday nights. In fact, we have as our big D&D night. We usually have 3 or 4 game masters here with various games going on. I run one myself. There's 3 other gentlemen that were here. I can't remember their names. I'm sorry, but they come in and
I'm usually back here.
They dedicate their time. It's just a lot of fun, and the collective provides us these wonderful tables to play on, and they can be as big as the games can be as big as I've had 11 players to as few as 2, and we just adjust. That's the neat thing. Which leads me to the Dungeon Master's Guide, which if you're going to run a game, I would suggest getting. I'm not really going to go into a lot of detail in this because this is really set up for Dungeon Masters, but this is as simple as just providing a guide, some guides, some guidelines, and some framework for you to play the game, to reward your players with magical items and treasure and magical items, more magical items. Did I say magical items? But anyway, you get the drift. John likes magical items and treasure. And also, if you really want to, and you're very enterprising, you can actually design your own world step by step right out of this book. You can just make one up. And talking about the worlds, of course, we play, there's very different worlds in the 5e. We play in Faerun on the Sword Coast is where I'm running my game. But over here to my right is the Ebron book. And I'm just going to talk about this briefly. This is an expansion set world to the 5e domain, and it takes you to the world of Eberron, where the Artificer class comes from. So in this game and in this book, you also get all the information you want on how to run a game in Eberron. It's not any different. It's still 5e. It's just a different setting.
And then the most recent book that's coming out, the next one that's coming out is going to be the Strixhaven book, right?
Yes.
It jumps into Magic the Gathering stuff.
Yes. It's going to make a jump and bring in the Magic the Gathering world. I don't have a lot of information about that yet, but as soon as it comes out, I will probably do do an opening for it and kind of try to describe the book. I'll look through it and we'll talk about it a little bit.
I think it's supposed to come out October.
Is it October? September, October. So, but as soon as it comes out, I'll do a John's Dungeon Corner immediately, so you guys can kind of get a flavor and a little detail on it. But shh, don't tell nobody.
I can't remember what comes first: the Dungeons and Dragons Magic the Gathering set, or the Magic the Gathering Dungeons and Dragons book.
Yeah, you know what? In John's Dungeon Corner, we don't keep track of when things come out. We just grab them when they do come out, because I mean, technically, it's treasure, and treasure is good. All right, so last but not least, I mean, you know, adventurers can't just go fighting themselves. We've got to prevent them. We got to present them with the baddies, and that's what this monster menu is chock full of. Monsters. One of my favorites, the Beholder, is on the front cover. Look at that bad boy. You don't want that chasing you down the hallway.
Jason Higgins says that you're the Michael Jordan of DMing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Jason rocks. He plays in one of my games, and we have a good time. Because listen, let me tell you something. This is all about having fun. I think Gary Gygax said it best when he created this game. He says, you know, these books, all these rules, they're just guidelines for you to have a framework to play your game in. There's no right and wrong. Whether you do something this way, you do it that way. Hey, it's your game.
Carry a lance.
If you carry a lance on your back. And then you go charging a dragon in a cave. Hey, whatever. Don't ask. But you can ask Danny. Ask Danny to explain that one to you.
Come back Sunday and Danny can explain.
Yeah. But okay, so the monster menu. Oh my gosh. So it's got the contents in alphabetical order, and that's the way it's done. It's in alphabetical order. But this is something neat. I love the artwork. And you can see it pretty good from there. I mean, I'm not going to go through everything, but
it's like an
look at this artwork. It is the encyclopedia of monsters. Now, for those of you who remember the Demon in the Dark or the Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf does his famous "You shall not pass," remember the Balor? There he is in his full glory, sword and flame whip in hand. Amazing. Simply amazing.
Danny says the lance is the best weapon he's got.
Oh, yeah. Danny with the lance for the win. But anyway, I mean, we even got dinosaurs. Hey, if you want to do a prehistoric kind of thing, there they are, dinosaurs. All right. One of my favorites.
I knew someone who was running a dinosaur campaign.
Oh, they're a blast.
It's like a caveman type crime campaign.
Remember, in Dungeons and Dragons, anything is possible. They could go down some kind of hole that just opened up, or a cave leads down to like this center of the of something in another world that you went through a gate, and all of a sudden you're in prehistoric dinosaur times. Try and fight a T-Rex. Oh my gosh. So then, fearsome Draculich. You don't want to run into those.
Back there?
Oh, Draculich. Yes, Bob. Say hi, Bob. Hello. But anyway, so it goes through all the dragons, and I mean, Dungeons and Dragons, okay. Gotta have dragons. And then we go on, and in this, your gnolls, you got kobolds, you got your gorgons, your golems. My favorite.
Brendan's in there.
Maybe. No. Here goes a hobgoblin. You know, you've seen those before. And of course, let's keep going. Lizard men. Here goes, of course, some of my favorites. Let me get to them. They're in the O's. Oh, Mind Flare. You don't want to run into those guys. These guys are just mean. Where'd he go? He's hiding now. See, he doesn't want to come out. That's okay. We'll leave him alone. A Nightmare. That thing will take you for a ride. Nah, it's okay. Nobody got it. Oh, Black Pudding. So, see, here's the Black Pudding. He threatened me, so I had to bring him out and let you see him. Oh, okay, I got you. There he is.
The Black Pudding.
The Black Pudding. Like, it's actually very cool. You can put like a character figure in there. Wait, don't put your finger in here though. Bad thing, bad stuff. Okay, anyway, back to your corner. You got the gray oozes and gelatinous cube. It's very cool. And there go some of my favorites. The orcs. Okay, you guys saw them in the Lord of the Rings. You've seen them in different animations. But there they are, orcs. You can have all kinds of cool orcs and owlbears. Oh, and there's this really cool owlbear. plaque that you can put up on your wall if you're into that kind of thing, and say, "My, look what my character killed."
Buy it as a collector for $600.
Yeah, there you go. You can buy them here. There's all kinds of. I am gonna get. I'm gonna. I kid you not. I am gonna get the beholder that you see on the front. There's one out there, and when I buy my house, that's what I'm gonna do, because he's gonna be. Yeah, he's gonna be behind me. He's gonna be my assistant DM. Just what you want to see when you walk into a game. Here's my assistant. All right, but anyway, we're digressing. Some vampires for you, and then here's something really neat in the back. Okay, so all right, well, hey, what happened to all the simple stuff? Like, what if I just want to have a, I don't know, a giant crocodile attack them if they're near a swamp? Well, look at that. We got crocodiles right here. Crocodiles. You don't see many of those in Florida, but you can see them. Yeah, you got constrictor snakes. Simple things like deer. If they, hey, I want to go hunting. I want to go hunt, forage for food. You can actually set, and there's miniatures for it, is the most wonderful thing. You can set up something as simple, turn a hunt into like a, oh my gosh, I fell down into a cave. What the heck are these kobolds doing here? Holy moly, there's a whole den of kobolds here and the town doesn't even know.
Is there a guideline in there for your mother-in-law?
That's in the second manual coming out. Real life worries and how to handle it. But anyway,
that would be an interesting tabletop game, though. Is it just like
it would
like real life stuff?
Oh no, we don't. We want to get away from the real life stuff. But there's giant frogs, and if remember that giant crocodile I was telling you about? It's in here too. So you have a lot of mundane things that you can also do, and you can actually introduce in a simple way to lead into one of your adventures. But that's the monster manual. Between the three of them, now, talking about the three of them, I like to jump to things, but this is beautiful. I'm not going to open it because I haven't bought one, but I'm going to get one. This is the special edition basic 3 books. The Monster Manual, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Player's Handbook. And it also comes with the other stuff, right? It also comes with the special edition Dungeon Master screen that I have over here. But the covers are special editions. They're unique.
The backside shows
the
covers there.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. But it's the feel of them, and it's just gorgeous. They come boxed up and ready to go. Come down to the collective and see how much they are. I'm not going to tell you. No, we're not going to tell you. You got to come down to the collective. Okay, every once in a while, you got to come down and visit us, That's what it's all about. So come down here to the collective. Oh, and of course, treasures. So you remember the dice, the 30 set, the 100-sided dice from last time? Well, look at this one. This is like a prism. I'm not going to pull it out of because
iridescent.
Iridescent, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
it's
I would think
gorgeous. So is that one? And there's another one that I think is just beautiful. If nothing else, just to sit on your desk and have people talk about. It's like a rose gold color. Whoa. It's shiny. If you have any goblins in the family, that's what you want to get them for a present.
And Danny reminds us that they can use their membership discounts towards pretty much anything that you see here right now.
Well, there you have it. You can't beat that. Your membership discount. Come on now. You got to get a membership first, of course. But you know what? If you want to know about that, call the guys up and come on down. Ask them. They'll be more than willing to tell you. Me, I'm going to talk to you about dice. Look at these dice. The treasures. These are some of remember those dice that I bought last week? These are a step up. They're all metal. Gorgeous. I mean, they're just beautiful. In fact, I actually
I've been eyeing.
Yes, probably.
No, I don't think that's the one. I think
I actually
another one out there that looks kind of similar. I think it's silver accent.
Yeah. I remember last time we talked, I got my son the 100-sider in blue and my wife those precision cut ones. Well, I came back and bought Antonio's fiance, Sarah, a beautiful set of these. The metal ones, they were gorgeous. I mean, just beautiful. She went crazy over them. Now, if you don't want all the design and stuff, and you want a really nice looking metal die or a present for someone, these are just blue and silver. They're gorgeously cut. They're real nice feel to them. They roll really well. These are the blue ones.
Actually, those are iridescent. They're not even.
Oh, they're iridescent.
Silver.
Oh,
yeah.
Iridescent. Yes, look at that. Okay, so
you could get that and then this.
Yeah, and you got an iridescent set.
You got a whole set.
And people say, well, what are you going to use 100-sided for? Well, there's a lot that you use in the game. Sometimes if the dungeon master lets you roll for, like if you find a magical item, he might let you do it randomly, and you have to roll percentage dice. What better than to break out that 100 die and go, oh, as it rumbles, oh. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to roll it because somebody
If
might want to buy it.
breaks
but-
in while you're playing your game too, it makes a great physical weapon.
Absolutely,
it
does.
weighs about 100 pounds as well.
It is really neat. So let's see. What do I want to talk about? Oh, and of course, you didn't have to get that crazy with dice. I mean, we have nice dice sets down here. I say we, but I really mean them. But I'm always hear a lot. I call it me, we. These are for sale. I mean, and they come in so many myriad of colors. I mean, I can tell you the full spectrum.
Start as low as like $5.
$4.
Like some of them.
$4.
Yeah, like $4.
$4.
Set. And then we also sell single dice in every color,
Yep.
shape, and domination.
These now, my son Antonio, which you all heard about and some of you have met, also has this set right here. This is gorgeous. This is the rim of the Frost Maiden set of dice from Icewind Dale that came out. It's been out for a little bit. I'm not telling you it came out just yesterday, but they're really nice. And they have, I think this is the only set they have. I wanted to show it off because it's beautiful. And there's other sets that come out whenever a new book comes out. I know when this came out, the Baldur's Gate, Descent to Avernus, I believe there was a set of dice for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when they come out with the new sets, they come out with either a set of miniatures for it, which they did. And so there's also an Icewind Dale set of miniatures. There's also one for Strahd, for Count Strahd, right? They have their own miniatures also. So the D&D world it's immense.
Also have a whole slew of Critical Role stuff.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that about another time. I just wanted to kind of focus. I'd like to throw in a couple things here and there. I know I started on one thing, but there's so much to D&D, and I don't want to take up a lot of your time because I know you got to get back to adventuring. And in fact, I hear the Dwarven Mason, he's building some equipment back there for some of the players for Sunday. So I got to go chat with him. So until next time, keep adventuring, keep your short sword sharpened, and a healing potion handy. This is John from the Dungeon Quarter saying, Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Adios.